It's time for another beginner's guide, and now for the hardcore punk quartet Straight from the Path. Formed in Long Island, New York back in 2001, they have a surprisingly large discography with 10 albums already behind them and an 11th album titled Euthanasia set for release on September 9th, 2022. So this seems like as good a time as any to help introduce this groove-driven band to those who are yet to discover them properly. Here's the beginner's guide for Straight from the Path. Track 1, Badge and a Bullet. A feature song from Stray's 7th album, Anonymous, released in 2013, Badge and a Bullet was to become the first in a trilogy of songs that would form a backbone amongst the band's discography. The song kicks right off with Tom Williams giving a Rage Against the Machine styled lead, and the intro continues to build before it kicks the door right down with the entry of Drew's aggressive vocals. His performance demands attention, supported by simple yet groovy riffs, with lyric lines such as "Now I know my enemy," having you shout alongside the song upon repeat listens. A catchy chorus with lyrics that will have you hooked with great phrasing. You'll have your head bombing with each reoccurrence. Guitarist Tom Williams mentioned more about the song during an interview with Rock Sound, saying that he thinks law enforcement in the world has gotten out of hand and people are abusing their power, and speaks of multiple instances of seeing this experience himself. This theme is extremely on the nose in the lyrical content, with lines such as "the wrong cop, crooked swine," and "with badge and a bullet, itchy finger on the trigger wanting to pull it, there's no reason to justify, they just want to see the lead fly." This song has a constant presence as part of a Straight from the Path live show, as it was a song that thrust them much more towards the front of the scene with the outspoken content on the lyrics. Track 2, First World Problem Child. A feature on 2015's 8th album Subliminal Criminals, First World Problem Child is an anthem featuring a guest spot with Architects frontman Sam Carter, giving one of the best metal collaborations of all time in my opinion. That opening line of "every rich white kid's got something to say, shut the fuck up," is something akin to a call to arms, with it almost being compulsory to shout those lyrics along with the song. A groovy riff with some fun timing to mix it up. This is where the rapcore element of Stray really comes into its own. As the bridge hits, Architects frontman Sam Carter delivers an incredible guest spot as mentioned before, with his vocals fitting in seamlessly into the Stray sound, and as always, sounding impeccable. As the song draws to a close, a slower riff but still packed with headbanging persuasiveness leads the way underneath a strong and heavy drum performance, with it sounds like the cymbals are taking a beating. First World Problem Child targets the rich privileged white people who think they have an understanding on complex racial and political situations, but don't really understand the depth of the reality, seeing as they haven't experienced the negative impacts from these issues. First World Problem Child is written as a call to these ignorant people to wake up, open their eyes, even as the song says with lyrics like "show the sheltered the real shit, bring the motherfucking truth out." This is a song that is extremely likely to get the biggest pop live, with so many moments such as the opening lines having opportunity for crowds to collectively scream "shut the fuck up" and vent out their frustrations during a cathartic live experience. Plus, if you're lucky enough to get to see Sam Carter perform this live with Stray, you're in for a great time. Track 3, Goodnight Alt-Right. Only Death Is Real was a 9th album released by the band back in 2017, with the track Goodnight Alt-Right showing the band continuing to be outspoken and not give a fuck about what the outcome would be. The first album to feature drummer Craig Reynolds as part of the band's lineup, he would bring a drum sound and a feel that would help elevate Stray to another level, giving the groove of their music even more technicality and intrigue to listeners. The intro lulls you into a false sense of security before Drew politely tells you that you just got knocked the fuck out in his own distinct way, kicking off the song with the chorus right from the start. Once we hit the verse, a simple instrumental lays the foundation for the lyrical content of the song to take centre stage, but more on that a little bit later. Craig has some fun little drum fills and cymbal action that helps push the progression of the verse fluently before heading right back into that aggressive chorus. As it gets to the bridge section, the song is unrelenting on its message with heavy instrumentals and on-the-nose lyrics that in no way hide the message Stray are putting across in this song. A politically driven band since their formation, Goodnight Alt-Right was written after the 2016 US election, with the song being summed up by guitarist Tom Williams saying, "Sometimes the things you say come with consequences. There is enough hate, misery and division in this country that we don't need a televised white supremacist saying this country belongs to white people. Bottom line, if you preach hate, expect hate." The lyrical content doesn't speak in metaphors, instead being incredibly direct, addressing the fact that topics such as racism still occur in modern day, with the music video being even clearer, with it featuring the band targeting someone who has these beliefs and expressing how disgusting it is to still be thinking that way. Many people took objection to the content of the video, but it did a perfect job of conveying the song message, and we can all agree that Straight From The Path are amazing for bringing this subject forward and being so vocal about the need to wipe out this kind of thinking. A big song with so many moments to shout along with Drew's vocals, Goodnight Alt-Right has become ingrained as part of a Stray setlist, and one that fans always look forward to hearing live.
What makes you think this is alright? Good night, alright. With you, please, wait and expect. Hey, with you, please.
Track 4, Fortune Teller.
For you walk with me. Yeah, yeah.
2019 saw album number 10 get its release, with Internal Atomics being its title. The song Fortune Teller being a standout amongst the track listing. A song that will have your head bobbing constantly throughout its duration, one of the biggest standouts of this song is the drum performance by Craig Reynolds. He has the perfect balance between playing what the song needs for the chorus sections, where it fits the music perfectly, but having the flair to mix it up with an incredibly groovy paradiddle drum beat between the snare and ride cymbal for the verses. It supports the music and doesn't take over, but adds something completely different that elevates the song to another level. The repetitive lyric line of "Fire Walk With Me" is guaranteed to become ingrained in your head after only one listen, and before you know it, you'll be chanting along with the song. Fortune Teller has a wonderful breakdown with beautiful dissonance on the guitar to close off the song. By the time it ends, you'll be wanting to go back and listen to it again straight away. The band described Fortune Teller by saying that musically, it's a heavily syncopated assault on the senses. Lyrically, a fired up attack on the status quo. Written as an antidote to the boomer mentality, Fortune Teller is an anthem for building a better future, no matter how badly it's been laid out by the past. Commonly seen in a live set list, there are many moments in the song, including the breakdown, which will get crowds moving, whilst also being allowed to get big chants along with the lines such as "Fire Walk With Me" and "We Don't Answer To Anyone," that will keep the energy high during the live scenario and show how good this band's music crosses over into that setting. Track 5, Guillotine. Euthanasia, the 11th album to come on September 9th, 2022 from Straight From The Path, had its first taste of music heard with the release of the track Guillotine. The intro has such a nice build to it, with a chaotic drum part where Craig flips between his snare, toms and hi-hat. Tom Williams sets a tone layering up guitar sections, and Drew delivers his vocals almost like a warning before the song kicks into gear. As the chorus hits, it's heavy and smacks you in the face with the line, "Death I can guarantee, as quick as a cut can bleed." Additions of splash cymbals into the 16th note drum groove in the verses keep the instrumentals fresh, alongside the simple yet exceptionally effective riff that will have you jamming to this song. Drew delivers an aggressive performance which really feels like it targets the people who the song is about perfectly, especially getting the line, "Let's see you try and buy your way out of this, you stupid fuck." As the breakdown hits and we move forward towards the openly spaced outro, which is a strong end to the track, the musicality of Stray really shines and shows that this band are dialing everything up to 100. Guitarist Tom Williams summed up the song, saying, "Over the past 2 years, you see a lot of shit happening across the US. You see that the working class has lost $3.7 trillion during the pandemic, while billionaires got richer by $3.9 trillion. You've seen essential workers who put it all on the line to get people what they need, get greeted with a pat on the back and coupons to use at the businesses they work for. Those same businesses brought in record profits. the system is broken and it's starting to deteriorate. In the end, those people who have headed these companies and viciously exploited the working class during this ordeal should be met with the guillotine. A band that are now really coming to their own and surging forward at this stage in their career, this upcoming album is definitely one to watch out for. Stray will be supporting the release of this album with a small UK and European tour in October 2022, plus a support slot on a tour with Beartooth and Motionless in White in the UK and Europe once again in March 2023, so I highly recommend you check them out. So that was a beginner's guide for Straight From The Path. If you're a fan of them, what songs would you suggest that weren't on this list that would help people get into their music? Who would you like to see a beginner's guide on next to introduce you to a band? Comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest releases in heavy music that we review on our monthly podcast. We have gig vlogs and various other content surrounding the genres of metal and alternative music.